What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. Today, we have none other than the fullback fiend himself, David Miller, co-host of the Ball Knows podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you having me on. It's a blessing. It's an honor.
No problem. Yeah, no problem. All right, so it's Bears week for us. It's Commanders week for you guys.
Yes, sir.
We got a big-time Thursday night game, and throughout the day today, we've had some news break and everything. It's looking to be a pretty anticipated matchup on a Thursday night, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what these Thursday night games are even for anymore.
My God, they've been so bad. They've always been bad, though. That's just the Thursday night motto. They just throw a game out there so we get football, but they're always awful. I can't remember, other than the Chiefs and Chargers earlier this year, I can't think of a single good Thursday night game.
Yeah, they've been pretty bad. Again, the 12-9 Colts Broncos game last week was, I'm gonna be honest.
Thankfully, I don't think we'll be that bad.
Yeah, I don't think so either. At least we have some young talent in Justin Fields to watch. So
yes, sir.
That's going to be exciting. So for the Commanders, I'm going to do a little recap here of the game on Sunday, which I've not been looking forward to. Carson Wentz stinks as usual. Nothing really new. Brian Robinson did make his return, which was pretty solid. I think he had like 9 carries for 22 yards. It wasn't that great, but I mean, it's nice seeing him back on the field after like 40 days of getting shot.
Yeah, I mean, he played solid ball for getting shot twice 6 weeks ago. Yeah,
exactly. That's what I'm saying. De'Ami Brown, breakout game for some reason.
My boy,
I did not see that coming.
UNC alum De'Ami Brown.
The UNC alumni. Did you see the thing that Sam Howell posted on his
No, I missed
Instagram
it.
story? It was like some edit of, you know how Amon-Ra St. Brown was like going off on De'Ami. Yeah, there's some edit of Amon-Ra saying that, and then like De'Ami Brown going off or something.
Awesome. I love that. Love that.
Yeah. I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, but like that was kind of out of pocket.
He needed that one. De'Ami really needed that one. I was starting to worry about him.
It was his first NFL touchdown in that game too. So I thought he had a touchdown last year, at least one, but okay, yeah, a third round pick. I guess we'll take it. 102 yards, 105 yards, something like that on 3 catches or something. I don't know.
The other UNC boy had a hell of a game too.
Yeah.
Cole Holcomb.
Yeah, Cole Holcomb did pretty well. I don't know. I'm realizing it. We have a lot of UNC alumni.
Yeah. I realized that when I was rewatching the game today. I was like, oh my God, they're everywhere.
Yeah. Holcomb, hopefully we sign him because that guy's the only thing keeping the linebacker core from being decent or from being like absolute garbage. Anyways, 21-17 loss. I was at the game. I sat right where the interception happened. I saw it with my own eyes. It was bad for us, but similar heartbreak for you guys as well.
Oh my God, yeah.
Do you even want to talk about that? Or?
I mean, I will say I think he's getting a little too much hate for it. It was the wrong thing to do. Like, any receiver with any amount of football IQ knows you need to go out of bounds in that situation. And Darnell Mooney, after the game, doubled down and was like, I was under the impression that was what we were to do if we caught the ball, but apparently I was wrong, something like that. Yeah. So it was a stupid play, but I think that's his first catch in a Bears uniform. He had a rough game. Yeah, he had one rough game. It's a waiver wire pickup. The Bears receiver core is bad. It is what it is. Like, I know I made my TikTok making fun of him, saying we need to cut him immediately, but I think he'll be fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, and now N'Keal Harry got activated off the
I'm excited for Harry. Probably the first NFL fan to say that in years, but I am excited for N'Keal Harry.
That's how down bad you guys are in that wide receiver position. It was, it's going to be interesting seeing them against cornerback room where William Jackson, our second highest paid player on the team right now, got benched. So
really,
I
missed that. Yikes.
Yeah, it was. He played 20 snaps or something. No, not even 20. It was like 10 pass snaps, 9 rushing snaps, and then Ron Rivera said this morning in his amazing press conference that definitely was something to watch, saying that he benched him. So I guess it's Benjamin St. Juste season right now, which I'm all for. I'm all for. He's been playing pretty solid. Yeah, for you guys though, talking more about the Bears game, Justin Jefferson went off on your secondary.
Well,
How do
we
you
didn't
feel?
have Jalen Johnson. It is what it
Yeah.
is. For some reason, when you don't have Jalen Johnson the way our corners were lined up, it wasn't like somebody was manned up on him every play. It was you cover this half, other guy covers the other half, and it just so happened that Jalen Jones was on Justin Jefferson more often than not. And when you have a UDFA on arguably the most talented receiver in the game, it's never
Not
a
gonna
good
work out.
outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially they were playing this real soft coverage, giving Kirk everything underneath, which is why he completed 17 straight passes,
Yeah.
which is so goofy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was rough. Did a heck of a job in the second half, though. I think he had two catches for 26 yards total after having over 130 in the first half.
He had like 97 in the first quarter, something crazy like that.
Something goofy.
Yeah.
It was awful. But Jalen Johnson's going to be back against the Commanders, so hopefully Terry McLaurin doesn't rip us a new one.
He had a decent game against the Titans, which I'm actually kind of surprised with. I think people are overhating on Terry right now. He's not. I think people are saying, "Oh, they're looking at his fantasy stats, and he's like the wide receiver 30 right now in fantasy." But the catches that he has had, it's been pretty solid. Like,
listen, his quarterback's Carson Wentz, and you have actual receivers around him right now, especially with how well, oh my God, Jahan Dotson was playing before he got hurt.
Yeah,
it happens. He's still a heck of a receiver. He's just not been the most productive through 5 weeks, but that'll change. That'll change.
Yeah, he's also done a great job on opening up catches for Curtis Samuel, who has gone off like we all thought he's gone off these last 5 weeks. So that's something to watch too.
We knew he was good. He just can never stay on the field, but he's been healthy through the first 5 weeks somehow.
Yeah, so somehow that's what I'm wondering too. Justin Fields in your game, from what I saw in the box score, it didn't look bad, but again, it was only 21 pass attempts or something like that.
Minnesota had the ball for, I think, 23 minutes in the first half, and then over half of the second half as well.
Yeah.
We just got our butts beat on time of possession. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on here, so I'm going to be as rated G as possible. But, yeah, we just got whooped in time of possession, so Fields really wasn't given the opportunities to throw the ball. But he did account for 89% of the team's total offense. So it wasn't like he was held back this week like he has been in previous weeks. They let him cook. They let him do his thing when they were on the field. And he played well. He was 15 of 21. I think he had the 4th highest passer rating out of any quarterback yesterday. Over 71% of his passes were completed, over 200 yards passing, a touchdown. Like, it was his best game of the year. Wasn't perfect, but it was good. He looked better.
And that we got to talk about that Darnell Mooney catch. That might be catch of the year.
It is catch of the year. George Pickens, eat your heart out. It's catch of the year.
Yeah. Unless something absolutely insane happens in these next 12 weeks or so, that's going to be catch of the year. It was
absolutely.
It was insane.
Anytime Justin chucks the ball deep, it's always fun. Because listen, say what you want. When the kid has the time to throw, and when he sits in the pocket long enough to throw, he's going to hit. If he hits something deep, it's going to be a thing of beauty. His deep ball is phenomenal, and Darnell Mooney is a phenomenal deep threat. So those two, I mean, as long as there's not miscommunication, which we've seen a little bit of this year. I don't know if you saw the touchdown. Oh, you didn't watch the game, did you? You said you were looking at the box score.
I was looking at the box score.
Okay, there was one pass to the front of the end zone where Mooney easily could have made a play on it and just didn't, and it looked like a bit of miscommunication. But when that's not going on, I mean, the two of them are beautiful. It's a beautiful duo, and I'm really excited to see them continue to grow.
It's a great thing that's happening there in terms of just that one wide receiver, other than the other 5 or 6.
Listen, DJ Moore is going to be a Chicago Bear.
That's true.
Fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
What would you give up for DJ Moore?
I'd give up Roquan Smith at this point.
Straight up,
straight up.
DJ Moore.
We'd probably have to throw in another draft pick given Roquan's current contract situation because they'd have to pay him. But I'm so over Roquan right now. He made this big fuss about wanting to get paid in the offseason, and through 5 weeks, he's had one good game.
Yeah,
I mean he's getting eat up on blocks. He's not reading the right holes. He's not shooting the right gaps. He's kind of been whatever in pass coverage. He got his ankles broke by Tyrod Taylor and Jalen Reagor last week. He hasn't been Roquan through 5 weeks. And I don't know if he's just so in his head about this contract that he's, overplaying playing or overexerting and screwing up or overthinking things, or maybe he really just is struggling big time to adjust to a new defense, which I don't see why he would. He's a super smart ball player. Like I said, we already saw one game where he looked perfectly in tune with everything going on, but I don't know what it is, but I am so sick of Roquan right now, and I would trade him for DJ Moore. I'm over it.
Yeah,
I'm over it.
I agree. I don't think Roquan is giving the Bears any help, if at all. I mean, he has the trade value to get traded before the deadline, but we've also seen in the past, these last few trade deadlines at least, have not been that active. It's kind of been a disappointment every time, which I don't know if it's going to become more of a common thing in the NFL now that big-time players know that they can get paid somewhere else once free agency hits, and guys with more no trade clauses being given out and stuff. So it's going to get harder and harder, I feel, to have in-season trades. We did see that one with Deion Jones, which was absolutely useless.
I was going to say, let's not hype that up. No, Deion Jones is awful.
Yeah. When was it? That wasn't yesterday, right?
I think it was yesterday. It was during Sunday Night Football.
Oh, okay, that's when it was. Yeah. Okay, I remember. Because it didn't happen during the Browns or Falcons game, so I was okay. But yeah, one stat I do want to point out that I did see from the game, the Bears game. Justin Fields was your leading rusher with 8 carries and 47 yards, and David Montgomery was your leading receiver.
Yeah,
with 4 catches, 62. Yeah.
Listen, okay. I know you have on your sheet that you sent me before. We'll talk about Montgomery and Herbert at some point, but I love David Montgomery. He's great. The run game wasn't working too great yesterday. Minnesota was keyed in on it. Obviously, the Bears are one of the best rushing teams in football, have been through 5 weeks. So if you key in on it and the Bears' offensive line isn't that great, it's not going to go many places. But Monty showed that he's a threat out of the backfield, and that's just as important, especially when you have a young quarterback, as being able to run the ball. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we can just go to Khalil Herbert and David Montgomery right now. It's been a question these last few weeks. I know Herbert, I feel, he got off to a pretty solid start, I feel, but I haven't really heard much about him this week. And then
he didn't do anything this week. I think he had 4 carries for 12 yards or something.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But David Montgomery, I feel, I guess, has taken that RB1 role back.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So. What I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Herbert and Montgomery?
Oh, I think Montgomery's easily better. Herbert's quicker and his burst is better. You know, he can hit that edge and take off better, but Montgomery's better at everything else. He's a better receiver. He's a better pass blocker. His vision's way better. He runs harder. His contact balance is better. He's just a better running back. Now, you say what you want about the whole scheme fit thing. It's a wide zone, Shanahan-esque run game, and you want a running back that can hit the edge. But Monty's capable of doing that. And when you want that one cut inside, there are a few running backs that can cut better than he can with that vision. So Herbert's great as an RB2. I think another big thing with him is he can't pass block, so you can't rely on him as a 3-down back. Yeah. And Montgomery is one of the better pass blocking backs in football. So Herbert's great. Like I said, good RB2, but he shouldn't be the RB1 for this team. And if Chicago decides he is the RB1, they're making a big mistake.
Is Montgomery is he a free agent?
He's up for contract this year.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. I was just.
But Chicago also has an insane amount of cap space, so they can afford to pay Montgomery if they really want to. Because he's not. I love Monty, and I think he's a top 10 back, but I don't think people around the league think that. So I don't think he's going to be demanding that much money from the RB position. So I don't think it'll be too bad to re-sign him.
Yeah, I think you're probably going to head back. Also, a guy I want to bring up. When I was watching some Khalil Herbert stuff, I think it was last week's game, the week 4 game, it might have been the week 3 game, but Tristan Ebner, I didn't want to bring him up. He's kind of, I mean, from the limited snaps that I saw, he's kind of nice.
Again, good rotational back. He's fine. I like him as a 3rd down back, as a pass catcher. Like that's kind of what we drafted him for. He's a good pass catcher. Again, can't pass block to save his life.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
He's a rookie. You can develop that. It is what it is. It's just kind of knowing your assignment and being able to stay on your own 2 feet. And again, you can learn that, but he's fine. I know a lot of Bears fans hate him for kick returns. That's kind of what his bread and butter has been so far. That's what his big assignment has been. And I will admit, he's been awful. But as an actual running back, again, he has the juice to hit the edge. And if he gets the blocks, he can make a little bit of noise out there. So I like Ebner. I think he's solid as a third running back.
Yeah, I think it was the game that Montgomery was out was the one that I was looking at.
Yeah, he had a couple nice carries. New York would have been last week.
Yeah, it was in New York.
Yeah, he had a couple nice plays in that game.
Yeah, he played pretty solid. All right, so one matchup to watch here for Thursday. I mean, big time game. I know there's a lot of key matchups. Some pretty big players on either side of the ball that could maybe have a breakout performance. What are your thoughts on one matchup?
For me, it's going to be just the entirety of Chicago's interior line versus Daron Payne and Allen. Oh my God, why is his name escaping me? Jonathan Allen.
Yeah.
My God, yeah. Jonathan Allen is, I don't like to use the word underrated. I think it's completely abused and blown out of proportion in NFL dialogue, but he's one of the more underappreciated defensive players in football. The dude is an absolute game wrecker. He's up there with Chris Jones, Jeffrey Simmons, in that second tier under Aaron Donald. Yeah. And I love Tevin Jenkins. He's been solid, but we're going to see moments where it's Jonathan Allen versus Sam Mustipher. So I guess that's what we'll call it. Jonathan Allen versus Sam Mustipher. Yeah. And that is going to be a death sentence for Justin Fields immediately. Sam Mustipher, I don't know if you saw, I don't like PFF grades, but PFF gave him a grade of 5 at one point this season.
Yes, I did not see the 5. I've seen that he's not done great, but I did not see the 5. He got a
5. Against New York, he allowed, I think, 7 pressures from Leonard Williams and the guys in there. So if that's happening against the Giants, against Jonathan Allen, I am terrified to see what's going to happen. But, I'm sure Getsy will figure out ways to get him involved in a lot of double teams and whatnot. So that's definitely the big matchup for me to watch, just because I want Justin Fields to walk away from this game. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel the defensive line has they've definitely done better than they did last season, at least for Washington. Payne has done great. He hasn't put up the numbers in the box scores that you've seen, but just the amount of pressure that he can bring, and just being a force in that run game, or in the run game.
Absolutely.
It's
it was really apparent against Tennessee. They were in the backfield almost every play.
Yeah, Henry was, for the most part, stopped. I feel they didn't really. They used Tannehill to pass the ball a lot more than what I thought, which was one of the reasons why we almost won that game. But the Jonathan Allen, on the other hand, still playing pretty solid. Montez Sweat had a big time sack near the end of that game, which the pass rush really got to Ryan Tannehill in that game. And then Chase Young's replacement, Casey Toohill, and then James Smith-Williams.
What's the deal with Chase Young right now? I didn't even realize he was hurt.
Yeah, he's the torn ACL from last year. He's still dealing with it. I don't think he's going to come back. Yeah, I don't think he's going to come back until week 8 is my guess. This is when he was supposed to get activated, but I think he's behind schedule right now. They don't want to say it, but it's probably going to be week 8 at the earliest, in my opinion. Damn. So it's not looking pretty for him. But I feel our pass rush is good enough without him right now. Once he comes back, I hope he explodes off the start and proves all the doubters wrong. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous about him right now in terms of
understandably so. Yeah.
My matchup was Darnell Mooney against Kendall Fuller. I think Kendall Fuller, he's definitely struggled so far this season. He's had his great moments, especially in the Tennessee game. He locked down what's their player's name, or Robert Woods sometimes. The big who's 15 on the
Nick Westbrook-Akine.
That guy, Westbrook-Akine. He had that one big catch in the middle of the game or something like that.
Yeah, that was on the safety though.
Yeah, that was on the safety. That was not
Cam Curl, the other one. McCain? Is it Bobby McCain?
Yeah, Bobby McCain, yeah.
He had him looking lost. That was rough.
he's spun around like 3 times trying to do so. Yeah, I don't know what he was doing, but Kendall Fuller, he's struggled at times so far this season. I feel like I'm just going to I said it last time in my last episode, but Benjamin St. Juste is the best cornerback on this team. And at least so far this season, he's proved it. Kendall Fuller has done okay in some parts. He's played better than Juste in some moments. He's played a lot worse than Juste in other moments. William Jackson has been absolutely horrendous. I don't know why I'm good. It's good that he's actually benched now, because he was more of a negative than a positive. Darnell Mooney, on the other hand, has had some great catches, has had some pretty solid games so far this season.
But he's also been neutralized in a couple games. It took him a little while to catch his footing, but I think he's good now. The past 2 weeks, he's played fairly well.
Yeah. And especially with Bobby McCain running in circles a lot, a deep shot to Mooney. I don't know.
The moon shot. Respect the nickname.
Moon shot, yeah. A moon shot. It could be pretty bad. All right. I didn't put this on the paper, but I do want to bring up the possibility here of Coach Ron Rivera possibly. How long do you think he has in Washington?
Oh, I don't know, man. I didn't even realize there was a fire Riverboat Ron train going on.
Oh, there's
I realize that now. It's in full effect. I mean, I'm seeing some disgusting things on Twitter, truly.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess it kind of depends. I mean, if Washington continues to struggle while every other team in the division somehow plays legitimate football and loses minimal games, I'm sure he doesn't have much longer left. Because how long has he been in Washington now?
This is his third season. He has the same as Matt Rule.
Okay, so he's in that range where he needs to put up or shut up. And as much as I love Riverboat Ron, former Chicago Bear, cancer survivor, awesome guy, he's not the best. He's not in the best situation.
I love him as a person. His story is incredible. I don't know. Maybe he needs to take a few years to rest up. Maybe because I did see he's only 60 years old. So his coaching career, even if he steps out for a couple years, 3 years or so, he can still come back and he'll definitely find a job.
Come back on his Doug Peterson arc.
Yeah, you can become the new Panthers head coach or something like that. So maybe we see a reunion there. But yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
I completely forgot he coached in Carolina there for a split second. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But that slipped my mind.
Might take his team to a 15-1 record or something. So
yeah,
that happened. Trade deadline a couple weeks away. We already talked about the Deion Jones stuff. We kind of talked about the Roquan Smith thing. Who do you think there's someone that I know people are talking about Roquan Smith possibly from getting traded. Who do you think there's someone on your team that could get traded that not a lot of people are talking about, but possibly could get moved?
I don't think there's anyone that not a lot of people are talking about. Roquan and Robert Quinn are the two names to watch. Obviously, Roquan we already talked about. Robert Quinn, we screwed up not trading him before the season. Like, I get why they didn't. They wanted that veteran presence in the locker room. There's a reason he's a team captain. You have a lot of young edge rushers, and you want them to be able to learn from him, and you don't want your pass rush to be an absolute joke, because if we didn't have Robert Quinn, we would be trotting out Travis Gibson, Al-Qadim Muhammad, and a fifth-round rookie who actually has played fairly well with Dominique Robinson, who I think this is his second year in his entire life playing the defensive end position. So I understand why they kept Quinn around, but they screwed up because he has been a complete non-factor through 5 weeks after having 18.5 sacks last year. I know the man, the myth, the legend, Theo Ash, that everyone wants to worship. He put out a video talking about Laramie Tunsil putting him in Alcatraz, and that's just been every tackle every week. So I don't know how much value he'd fetch, but I'd definitely be fielding calls for him. And like I said, Roquan is another guy that if he doesn't pick it up, I'm not paying him. Might as well try to get anything out of him.
I'm willing to do anything for Theo to make the Commanders have a 2-15 record next year. I'm telling you, at this point, I just want some type of winning season.
That is so goofy, dude. Like, listen, I like Theo, but I hate the way people worship that man. It is degenerate behavior out here.
It's yeah. He
Since
has some good points sometimes,
no, nothing against him. He's smart. He knows what he's talking about. But since he's became big, there is not an original thought out there on football, TikTok, or Twitter. It's whatever Theo says, you either agree with it wholeheartedly or you disagree with it, and you're on one side of the spectrum. There is no in between. There's no originality. There's no new takes. It's really annoying. But again, it's not on him. No hate to Theo. He's just doing his thing, and I respect it. It's just what happens when most of your audience are like 13, 14-year-old kids that don't know ball, and they see the funny man on TikTok that almost got in a fight with another TikToker. When he says something, they listen,
Yeah. I'll say for Washington, there really isn't anyone that I would want to bring in besides a veteran linebacker or just some type of linebacker, because anyone would be better than Milo Eifler and
who?
Exactly. And I guess Dejon Harris is now our practice squad linebacker, but I don't even know who our linebackers are anymore. It's Khaleke Hudson, I guess, but they're all pretty bad. Jamin Davis though has had a pretty solid season to begin the year.
Really?
He
looked solid against Tennessee from what I saw.
Yeah, his rookie season, of course, was absolutely horrendous. But I guess he gave up that. We're one Travis Etienne drop away from being 0-5. He did give up that, but besides that, in coverage, he has not been horrible. And then he's gotten to the quarterback a few times throughout this season as well, which has been pretty nice to watch. Seeing a first-round pick actually doing something, so that's pretty nice to watch.
Davis. He's got all the athletic traits you want in a linebacker. He's just got to get situated, and hopefully, if Ron heads out, a new coaching staff will be able to do something with him.
Yeah, I want to. If we don't get Sean Payton, which would probably, I realized, by the way, earlier today, if you want Sean Payton to be your head coach in 2023, you're gonna have to trade for him.
That's crazy.
You're gonna have to.
I can't even remember the last time a head coach was traded. It's been forever.
John Gruden from.
Oh yeah.
From Tampa Bay to Oakland, or Oakland to Tampa Bay. I forgot.
In like the early 2000s.
Yeah, that's a really only major one, but. I mean, I think I'm going to make the prediction right now. I think a team trades for Sean Payton.
Oh, somebody definitely will. If Sean Payton says he wants to come back to football, somebody's going to trade for him.
I was going
to say, I wonder what the trade package for.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. What would you give up for a head coach that could possibly change your team around?
I don't know. It's weird.
Like if you give up draft picks and stuff, then that kind of
like I get wanting to. Mortgage your future on Sean Payton. He's a head coach you're willing to do that for. One of the smartest offensive minds of this generation and the generation before, right?
Yeah.
But are you going to give up a first-round pick for him? Are you going to, a team that's going after Sean Payton, they probably have, unless we're talking like the Dallas Cowboys, they make the playoffs and Sean Payton becomes available. It's probably going to be a bad team that's offering up draft picks. Like, are you going to offer a top 10 pick? Do you offer young talent? Do you offer whatever veteran you might have sitting on your roster? Like the trade value for a head coach would be so weird, and the dialogue around it would be so interesting.
I have to look back into the John Gruden trade, but I believe it was like 2 day 2 picks, maybe, or a late day 2 pick and 1 early day 3 pick.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between John Gruden and Sean Payton. Like even when John Gruden was respected, Sean Payton still blows him out of the water.
It's crazy. All right. Well, that will probably do it for this episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. Thank you for coming on. You can find him at MillerFootball _ on Twitter and TikTok. You can follow the Ball Knowers podcast on YouTube and Spotify. Is there anything else you would like to say?
Yeah, I'd just like to say we made it through an almost 30-minute podcast, and you didn't let me talk about fullbacks once.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
this is heartbreaking.
Right, we got to talk about this.
Man.
How much are you willing to sign Kari Blasingame for?
How much?
Yeah, how much money?
Hold on, let me double check something real quick. I suck with contracts, so let me double check and see what Juice is making real quick.
I think he's a free agent, right? Yeah, because you have the. Yeah. All right.
Okay, Juice is making 7.5 a year. I'd give Kari 5.
5.
I would confidently give him 5 to 6 a year. And I'd sign him I would extend him for good Lord, I cannot talk. I would extend him for an elongated period of time. I wouldn't give him another 1-year deal. Kari Blasingame has been the best player on Chicago's offense this year, bar none. And I'm not just saying that. Like, this man's success, Khalil Herbert's success, I've talked about it on TikTok and Twitter plenty. It has pretty much all hinged on Kari Blasingame. When he is on the field, our run game is dominant. And he can pass block. And we haven't even seen him at full strength yet because he hasn't caught a pass. And he's fast. When he gets the ball in his hands, he can, he can work. Like, he is a pass catching fullback.
Wow.
So we're just waiting on Fields to get comfortable so Getsy can throw him out on a route, which I've seen him a couple times running wheel routes and stuff. But once the offense grows, once Fields gets comfortable, they won't have to keep him into pass block anymore, and that'll be exciting. He also hasn't ran the ball yet, and he can run the ball pretty solidly. So if they unlock Kari and start using him like he should be used, he's going to be a guy like Juice that people are going to key in on and be like, oh my God, that is a relevant fullback, even though they already should be. But he's been awesome, and I would absolutely sign him for I think he's 28. So I'd give him a 3-4 year deal if I'm Chicago. Because as long as Luke Getsy is in Chicago, he's going to have a home. He's going to have use because Luke Getsy, again, he comes from that McVay-Shanahan tree. I coached under LaFleur in Green Bay, and he's thankfully one of the ones that didn't come directly from McVay. So he believes in fullbacks, even though McVay is using a fullback now, which is beautiful. Zach Taylor is going to become public enemy number one once McVay finally decides that he wants to use one full time. But I really hope they do extend Kari. That's my name on Twitter right now. Hashtag extend Kari Blasingame. I want him to get a contract before Roquan. Like, unironically, I think he deserves it more than Roquan right now. I mean,
he is playing pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. I have seen some stuff. Another guy. Well, do you have a sneak peek on you? I know you're gonna give out your fullback rankings once you hit 10K on TikTok, but
I'm only 100 followers away from that. By the way,
only 100. I saw that today.
I don't want to give too much away. I'll say Kari Blasingame's top 5. I'll put that out there.
Okay.
And Reggie Gilliam, who everyone has been going nuts over the first couple of weeks. He's in the top 6. We had one big riser. Somebody jumped from into the 20s into the top 10 during the season. Somebody who kind of popped off in the first 2 weeks. I'm not sure anyone watching this will know who that is, but it's been really upsetting. I had to trim my list down a lot because initially I had like 42. And then everyone was like, okay, we're not going to keep all these extra fullbacks. So it's down to 20 that are currently rostered. And then I haven't decided. Yeah, there's 20 currently rostered.
Two of them are on the Bears, right?
No, I don't have Tonjes. He shifted to tight end.
Oh, he did? Okay.
2 of them are in Miami, though. They've got John Lovett on IR. But a bunch of them got cut. And then I have a bunch of honorable mentions. And I haven't decided if I'm going to rank them yet because they're tight ends and Ben Skoranek that, play fullback, but they're not listed there.
You need to rank Ben Skoranek for the people. You need to rank
He's not going to be as high as people want him to be.
He's he can do everything though. He is
okay.
Yeah.
Listen, most of his big plays are big blocks. He's just catching somebody on their blind side and getting a lucky cheap shot. Like he's okay. He's not great. I wouldn't call him a top 10 fullback.
But like McVay uses him so uniquely as I will say his build looks like a wide receiver, and then he's blocking. At least he's attempting to block these big time guys. In these
I've said it before. He's a Dollar Tree Kyle Juszczyk.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you right now, McVay. The best thing he could do for the Rams if he really wants to use a fullback, his name's escaping me right now. Hunter Lepke, the kid from NDSU. He needs to be a Ram. That's what he wants. He wants a Kyle Juszczyk, and Hunter Lepke is the closest thing you're going to find to it right now. That's what he wants.
Did you make fullback rankings for the NFL draft? I didn't see, or
I don't think I made a ranking last year, but I had them written down somewhere. Let me see if I can't find them real quick. I might have them here.
I think Washington had a rookie fullback. I want to say maybe at one point this offseason. I don't
really.
I think so. He didn't last long at all.
Right.
And we had one other guy that was put on season-ending IR. I forgot his name. But
down here somewhere. No, apparently I don't have it in here anymore. I'll tell you right now, the only 2 relevant fullbacks that I ranked, or I guess it would be 3. Yeah. 3 of them made it close to the NFL. I had Clint Ratkovich at number 1, who tore his ACL working out for the Packers before the draft. I had Xander Horvath at number 2, and then I had Jeremiah Hall at number 3. I can't remember who I had at 4 and 5. It's escaping me completely. But 2 of those 3 made it to the league. Jeremiah Hall got cut, and then the Giants moved Chris Myrick from tight end to fullback, and then Ratkovich would have made it. He's another guy in that Juszczyk vein where he can do it all. It's just he tore his ACL right before the draft, and nobody's going to take a chance on a fullback with a torn ACL.
Yeah, I will say it's been a pretty not so great off season for fullback truthers. So I feel a lot of them.
Okay, it wasn't terrible
in terms of injuries. I feel. I heard a lot of injuries.
Kabinda got
the ones
hurt.
That you were talking about now too.
Who am I missing? There's 2 guys on IR. I know Jason Kabinda is one of them. Alex Arma from Washington. He got put on IR. That was the other one.
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, which he's not that great anyways, but.
Okay. What since are you putting him on the list?
No,
he's on IR.
Do I have him ranked? No, because I think he got.
Oh, he got.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he might make the top 20. If he would have been healthy.
He's not great.
Yeah, he's okay. Listen, he's a running back. He's a running back that they were like, he's not quick enough. Maybe he can play fullback. His blocking's just not the best. He's okay. He's okay. He's startable. He's serviceable, but nothing crazy.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap things up.
Yep. I got my fullback ran in. I think we're good.
Got your fullback in. Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching another episode of Keeping with the Commanders. We might have to make an emergency pod at one point this week. I'm not gonna lie. If things go south very quick, there might be an emergency pod on Friday. But
oh goodness.
Yeah. But besides that, thank you guys for watching another episode of Keeping Up with the Commanders. See you guys in the next one. Peace.